What's up, my crypto legends? In today's episode, the Bitcoin price having a massive dump. I did mention yesterday this descending triangle potentially breaking to the downside. We'll be looking at some different support levels that need to hold. Also, the Ethereum US dollar chart, the Link US dollar chart. And if you're interested in trading, make sure to check out the PrimeXbt leverage trading platform. The link is in the description. If you use Bitcoinsensus 50, you'll be getting 50% in addition of what you deposit. You deposit $2,000, you'll be getting $1,000 on top of that to trade with, guys. Any questions, let me know in the comment section. Be extremely careful with leverage trading. Also, this FUD news, Indian government official gives mixed signals over planned crypto legislation. And fund manager warns Bitcoin is pointless and a particularly vile asset class. But also some good news, guys. Survey unveils 72% of US accredited investors are planning to invest in DeFi in 2021. And reported volume of top South Korean crypto exchanges surpasses that of the country's stock market. All of this in today's episode, guys. Make sure to smash up the like button and subscribe for coming updates. Let's go straight into the video. Hello there, Andy here, and welcome back to another episode of Bitcoinsensus, where you subscribe for the quickest technical analysis and news on Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and the financial markets. I'm not a financial advisor, so don't buy or sell anything that I say. And if you do so, do your own research. Said this, let's go straight into the charts. All right, guys, taking a look at the 1 hourly chart here for the Bitcoin price. As you can see, we've dropped from this descending triangle to the downside, but I wasn't expecting a severe drop like this. I was expecting the $57,500 range to hold nicely. Also the support from this ascending brawling wedge, but we've gone all the way down to the $54,600. So guys, what I'm expecting now in the short term is that we might have a retracement here from this downtrend. So say from here down to here is the drop, and we might come all the way to the 62% Fibonacci retracement, which is also the back from this pump here, breaking the all-time high of February. This candle right here with this volume right here was the breakout of the all-time high of February of the $58,000 range, and we did not do it with a huge amount of volume, and now we've broken below this candle with this amount of volume, which is extremely bearish. All of these red candles here on the 1 hourly chart has this huge amount of volume, especially this last one. So when this happens, usually you have to turn a little bit bearish because the selling pressure is higher than the buying pressure, and very, very likely that we will come up here if we do and bounce and come back to the downside to retest this low here at the $54,600 range. But we might even come down from here. Remember, the measured target from this ascending broadening wedge is from the width here, and from the breakout, you know, we could still come down to the $53,800 range. And I have marked this in blue because it is this huge amount of volume that we had on the 22nd of February. As you can see, this green candle, this is on the 1 hourly, huge amount of volume there, as you can see on the volume candles. And also we have this candle right there, and I've marked it with this blue line at the top, which is at the $53,800 level. So if we come all the way down here, I'm expecting this to hold very nicely. There's a lot of more volume around this area than the all-time high of 58,000. That's why it was easy for the Bitcoin price to break below the all-time high of February, because there was hardly any volume. But now we are going to see some heavy support around these areas, and this blue horizontal line is that candle that I've just showed you with a huge amount of volume. It should hold nicely, and the measured move of this ascending broadening wedge should be a little bit lower. So we might have a retracement here, come back and retest behind the back of this green candle. Also the support of this ascending broadening wedge, turning it into resistance. It is also the 62% of the Fibonacci retracement here. So very, very bearish signs. If we come all the way up here, very likely that we might see another drop to the $53,800 levels before we actually continue to the upside, guys. Nothing else. I am very bullish in the mid long term, guys. Maybe short term bearish for the next few days or coming weeks. We need to see heavy support around the $53,500 range. I'm expecting this to hold. If we break this to the downside, we'll have to look at some different support levels. But I believe that this is going to hold nicely and then continue to the upside. We might see some bearish movements in the short term. Let's take a look at the Ethereum US dollar chart here. In yesterday's video, I did mention this bull flag right here. This is the 1 hourly chart for the Ethereum US dollar pair. And obviously, if Bitcoin breaks to the downside, it is going to drag the other altcoins, especially Ethereum and any other altcoins. So it has dragged the Ethereum price down, but we've done it with hardly any volume. So a bit cautious. This might be a fake out, and as soon as Bitcoin recovers, we might continue to the upside. But we have broken below this uptrend, as you can see here on the chart. I did mention this yesterday. This is this uptrend channel. This is the resistance of the channel. So we've been bouncing nicely from this resistance, and the support area also bouncing nicely. And now we've just broken below it. The measured move of a breakout of a channel is also the width of the channel, potentially taking the Ethereum US dollar pair all the way down to the $1,540 range. I wouldn't believe we would go that low, because we have great resistance at the $1,700 range, as I showed you here in the chart. A lot of buying pressure around these areas. I will show you with some arrows the support. It's been heavy support, and once we've broken below it, it has been heavy resistance. So if we break below it, we might get heavy rejection once we get back up and retest it as resistance. But I believe that it's going to hold nicely as support. We might come back down this level and then continue to the upside, getting back into the channel, because the breakout has been with hardly any volume at all. This has been more dragged because of Bitcoin dropping. So it is also kind of retesting the resistance of this descending wedge, as you can see. Remember, I told you this a couple of days back, this descending broadening wedge, the width of this descending broadening wedge from the breakout, and we managed to get to the target exactly as you can see here. And we are getting supported now of the top of the resistance. So who knows, we might even bounce from here and continue to the upside. But we have broken this uptrend channel support. So maybe bearish in the short term, guys. Also very bullish in the long term for Ethereum. I wouldn't be trading this volatility. A lot of uncertainty in the market now, a little bit of FUD, which is always good news in a bull market. There's always have to be some FUD, because these corrections are healthy, guys. We cannot just go from here up to $100,000 Bitcoin. So this is what I got. I hope that the $1,700 range is going to hold nicely and maybe continue to the upside. This is potentially a fake out. I'm going to get back into the channel. This is what I got for you guys for the Ethereum technical analysis. Let's take a look at Chainlink. First of all, for Chainlink, I want to show you this huge ascending broadening wedge. I want to show you the support levels. We are getting great support right there. As you can see, we have created this uptrend line. And if we continue the line, we can see that we've got great support right there. We just wicked down, and also right here. So if we continue to the downside, we might get heavy support, or we might have a huge red candle coming down here for the Chainlink price. Also, guys, I'm expecting this to hold nicely, but it is looking very bearish in the short term, because we are creating lower lows now. This low right here is lower than this, and this high is lower than this high. So guys, it is looking a little bit bearish, like if we want to turn over and continue to the downside. But I am expecting that it is going to hold nicely the support area, and we might continue to the upside, but it is looking a bit bearish in the short term, as you can see, guys. I was going to say maybe a shoulder, head and shoulder pattern, but no, I don't like it as a shoulder, head and shoulder pattern. It's just looking very, very, very boring. It's been for almost a month now, just bouncing in between $30 and $25, not moving at all. We are in a clear slightly uptrend, as you can see. We are creating higher lows there, but now there is a discussion in between these two. It looks like that we want to come below, but the bulls are actually fighting. But there is a chance that the bears might win this battle and we'll have a red candle to the downside, guys. Very cautious for Link US dollar. I am bullish for Link, so I wouldn't like shorting this market. So this is what I got for the Chainlink US dollar pair, guys. No trading opportunities at all until we see some more volatility. Let me show you this news of India. Indian government officials give mixed signals over planned crypto legislation. An anonymous government official said that the legislation is likely to make it through the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's majority-controlled parliament. Discussions for a proposed legislation that would usher in a blanket ban on cryptocurrency use in India are in the final stages, according to a senior government official. As reported by Reuters on Monday, trading, mining, issuance and possessions of cryptocurrencies are expected to be criminalized in India with the upcoming legislative bill. The official said fines would be issued for breaking the law after a 6-month grace period to dispose of crypto assets. The situation is turning out to be terribly confusing for the stakeholders in India. The Minister of Finance said, "From our side, we are very clear that we are not shutting all options. We will allow certain windows for people to experiment on the blockchain, Bitcoin or cryptocurrency." She added, "The growth of the fintech industry depends on such experiments." Very confusing times for India, because some weeks they say they are going to ban it, some other weeks they are not. They are just going to tax it, then they're going to ban it again. So India is very confusing on what to do with the cryptocurrency space. Fund manager warns Bitcoin is pointless and a particularly vile asset class. Tim Bond, a portfolio manager at Eth Ta Asset Management, has warned that Bitcoin is pointless, calling the cryptocurrency a particularly vile asset class. He claims that Bitcoin has no real social utility other than as a tool for speculation and a means of launder the proceeds of crime. And he said it is difficult to think of any other human activity that is simultaneously quite so pointless and quite so damaging to the planet. Bitcoiners immediately took to Twitter to point out many flaws in Bond's argument, urging him to do more research before commenting on Bitcoin. One Twitter user wrote, "This guy is just now catching up and freaking out. Every argument he makes was debunked 5 years ago." And another one said, "Worst understanding and highest ignorance reward on Bitcoin today goes to Tim Bond from Eth Ta Asset Management. Do some more research, please, before making a fool of yourself," guys. There is always going to be people that think that Bitcoin is pointless, even though the price goes to $500,000 to $1 million as a store of value. Remember, Bitcoin is finite. There is only going to be ever 21 million. So it's a finite digital asset, a digital store of value. And loads of people are not going to understand this, even though the price goes to over $1 million. Let's take a look at this. Survey unveils 72% of US accredited investors are planning to invest in DeFi in 2021. A new survey revealed the latest trend among accredited investors in the United States, targeting the decentralized finance sphere. The study shows that a vast majority of them are likely to invest in DeFi this year. 70% of the respondents already invested in Bitcoin. A survey of 379 accredited investors, 67% of them have some knowledge about DeFi. The survey findings confirmed our belief that accredited investors are very excited about investing in crypto assets, but they are being held back to a lack of regulation protection, scams, and a lack of awareness and education around the industry. It's extremely critical for the industry as a whole to step up and provide this new wave of investors with everything they need to ensure they have a positive experience and continue to invest. So in one side you have a firm manager saying that Bitcoin is pointless, a very speculative and dangerous asset, and in another side you see a survey of over 300 investors that 70% are invested and think that Bitcoin is a great digital store of value. Let's take a look at this. Reported volume of top South Korean crypto exchanges surpasses that of the country's stock market. The volume of transactions in South Korean digital currency market briefly exceeded the daily average transaction amount of the country's stock market on Sunday. According to data from CoinMarketCap, the combined 24-hour volume of major South Korean-based crypto exchange Upbit, BitHum, CoinOne, and Corebit was more than $14.6 billion on Sunday. On Friday, the same metric was roughly $14.5 billion on the Korean Composite Stock Price Index. It should be noted, though, that the traded volume appearing on CoinMarketCap are not always believed to be accurate. Great to see crypto exchanges surpassing the volume of the South Korean stock market. The US stock market is trillions of dollars, so the crypto exchanges 24-hour volume will not exceed the US stock market volume in 24 hours, at least in the short term, guys. This is going to be it for today's episode. Make sure to check out the Bitcoinsensus website. We've got great tutorials and reviews on how to buy, how to store, and how to trade Bitcoin safely. We've got the latest news and technical analysis. And if you haven't seen my Bybit leverage trading tutorial video popping up on your screen, massive thank you for tuning in, guys. Make sure to smash up the like button on your way out, and I will see you in the next one.